2025-175, approving and authorizing execution of a maintenance support agreement with IDEMIA, Identity and Security USA LLC. Are there any questions or discussion on that commission order?
I make a motion that we approve Commission Order 2025-175.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We've approved Commission Order 175. Next up on the agenda is 2025-176, approving and authorized execution of a proposal from McConnell Associate for parking lot improvements at the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Any discussion?
Nope.
We did talk about potentially getting an additional coat. I don't know, did we get any information on that? You know, on that,
Back on it.
on that,
Yeah,
second coat on that back part, back.
the question was, earlier, the back lot that was used for the old firing range is gonna get one coat, and the question was, does it need two? But I think the future changes in that section of that parking lot is questionable. There's gonna be some changes made to it. So would it be worth the investment of an extra coat?
I think they were still looking for maybe getting some information on that, but I think we were going to go forward with the current proposal. And then if we wanted to add some additionals, if we made the
Getting the
decision,
equipment back there was going to be a little bit of a problem too. he was
Yeah.
saying.
Right, they're
Yeah.
gonna have to.
hand do it. Any further discussion on 176?
So I make a motion, we approve it.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We approve Commission Order 176. Next is Commission Order 2025-177, renewing the contract for equipment specialists for commissioning and decommissioning emergency vehicles to awarded vendors.
Make a motion that we approve Commission Order 2025-177.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We've approved that order to decommission and commission emergency vehicles to the awarded vendor. Next up is Commission Order 178. The ratification, the procurement of a Kawasaki Ventrac tractor and trailer from Harwood Equipment. I'm not sure that necessarily the ratification process, but we had to do this, I guess, to go ahead and make that purchase. So
Yeah, there was a $3,000 rebate
yeah,
that was
okay.
gonna run out if we didn't act on it, so we wanted to lock in that savings of $3,000 on this particular item. So that's why we had to do a ratifying
Okay,
for the procurement.
for $3,000 made sense.
$3,000
we
is
approve.
$3,000.
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed, same sign. We have approved Commission Order 2025-178. Next up is the Commission Order 179, 2025-179, approving and authorizing the execution of a service order from ClearGov for a subscription to a digital budget book for the Franklin County Auditor's Office. We did have some discussion on this during the meeting on Thursday. Angela, did we get any more information on potentially looking at some of the other options?
I had another call yesterday with Tori with ClearGov, and she did do a little bit more in-depth demo on the operational tool aspect that you all wanted me to inquire about and see if they would do the prorated cost to do it from August to December. They were willing to do that, do the proration, but once we got a little bit deeper into the tool, and they also did provide a recommendation, I forwarded that to you, that they would not recommend us utilizing that operational tool just for half of the year. There's quite a bit of training that goes into it, and because this is, it's a tool that it's a collaborative tool. So departments can use it, you all can use it. It's just going to take a little bit longer for training. They recommended about 30 to 60 days of training opportunities for that operational tool. I mean, we're essentially taking all of our cost accounts and our chart of accounts, we're putting them into this tool. And in order for other departments to utilize it fully, they just recommended that we wait. If we absolutely wanted to go forward with it, we would still need to do our current process that we utilize with all the Excel. It would just be more manual for our office to input those into that tool. So my request would be that we wait so we can start fresh in 2026. And then by next year, 2026, or prepping for 27 budget season, we can have that in the budget, and then we can also, everyone else can be comfortable with using it. So right now I would request that we just move forward with the digital budget book. But if you don't want to just do that, that's up to you all.
I think
That's-
well, that may make sense. But again, the process doing the digital book obviously is a trial process. We're going to evaluate, and then whether or not that we would include that in the 2026
Correct.
budget.
It is
So
what-
this is a trial run. But the features of that tool, obviously, you think they're valuable enough. If we do go forward, that it would be something that we would entertain
Yes.
at that point.
Yes, I really would like for the county to move forward with that other feature of the operational tool, but for us to completely utilize it and for the cost that we would have to pay even just for this last 6 months of this year, it's still going to be very manual for our office. And because we are already starting the budget process right now, adding another, they said at least, I don't know, for me, it would probably be another 90 additional day period of training for that. So I just think that it would be best to start fresh for next year and then also have that in the budget.
But
So-
this
You
is
have
a
it in your budget.
trial in itself. That's what I find confusing. If it's a trial, whether you do it now or if you do it later, I don't, it's like looking at half of a socket set or something, you know?
The digital budget
If you
book,
want to evaluate something, you usually evaluate it in its whole, and then you decide on what parts of it that you need. So I would feel more comfortable if you looked at the whole package and said, okay, we've looked at this and we found no use in this other than, number one, I can't, imagine someone's trying to sell you a product and tell you, well, you probably don't want to get this part of it right now. Then that throw a flag up to me right away. Why not? Are you trying to hook me in on this other piece? And then, if I look at this other one, I'm not going to want this first piece. There's something like you don't want me to see, or
no,
I want to
not
see
at
the
all.
whole thing. No, I mean, as you user, I'd be fearful that there's something they don't want you to see right away. It may scare you away, that it's going to be more complicated than. I have faith in your office that if you say that they say it's going to take 30 days or whatever for training, well, you're going to evaluate it to the end of the year. So there's time there. Now, if it's going to take away from your time and you can't do that, then my question would be, will you be able to do it at the beginning of the next year even? If it's still the same amount of time it's going to take.
Well, I think and again, like they give a very broad and honest recommendation. So I think that, I guess what I'm trying to get across is there's multiple tools that this vendor provides, right? The digital budget book that I showed you, that is taking all of our data, right, and turning it into the end product that we use instead of all of these books. It's easier to navigate through. The operational tool part of it is another $20,000. For me, we didn't budget for that, right? We don't have that in our budget right now.
The whole package was 20 something thousand, 21 or 22,000
21,200.
for everything.
Correct.
Well, you said it was an additional 20.
Well, it will be for this year when we can't even completely utilize it.
How's it an additional 20? I'm lost and I'm pretty good at math, but
A total of 21,200, correct?
because you're already buying a portion of it that's prorated, right? So it shouldn't be another 20,000 when the whole package is 21,000.
For the digital budget book, and I don't have my quote right in front of me, the digital budget book and the operational tool is a total of, I think, like $34,000 for an entire annual for a year.
34,000?
I don't have my quote right in front of me.
I have it here.
emailed it to you.
Yeah, I have it right here. And I guess this, if you can look at this one and tell me if this is the quote there, isn't it? At the bottom of that one there. Oops, sorry.
The 27. So we're looking at right about 30. Operational tool is that
29, yeah.
the key with the operational tool is that everyone can use it. And if we get this for just 6 months, it seems like a pretty steep cost to pay that we're saying, okay, everybody needs to learn how to use this, and people are already preparing their budgets. So I really don't want to put that burden on departments, say, here, now you need to learn a new tool. And the purpose of it is so that when it is correctly utilized, it's going to be an option. We're going to go away from all of these Excel spreadsheets. It's going to be able to pull data and create that digital budget book, right? Well, I mean, if we want to put the burden on departments and other elected officials to learn this software in such a short amount of time, when we start budgets in 20 days. I mean, that's why I don't really feel comfortable putting that burden on everyone. Otherwise, alternatively, if we get this operational tool, no one else will probably be utilizing it to the full extent, because it does require, first of all, it requires the implementation. It requires all of our chart of accounts to be put into the software, and, to where then on our end as the users, it's more effective, and we know how to navigate through it, the training it requires. So I just felt like it would be too burdensome for everyone else. Otherwise, like I said, if we get this tool, it will be still the same process, and I will be then implementing or still adding in all that data to the tool where.
If I'm correct
it's not a-
in looking at this, it says, to be clear, you will be billed as follows. August 1, $2,000 for a down payment for the setup fee for the digital book, and then $4,500 for the 5-month pro rata subscription for the digital budgeting book. So that's $6,500
Just for that portion.
just for that portion. Is there some additional cost beyond that? I don't think there is.
For the operational tool, there is.
Oh, there's if we ask for the operational tool, there would be additional cost
Correct.
for that.
Yes. And my printer is out of service. I did not bring that in here right now, but I did email it, and it was attached to the email that I sent you all yesterday afternoon.
I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine. With the other commissioners are fine, but I'm fine going forward with this process. I think it'll be a benefit to have a digital budgeting book. I do think the operational piece, if it doesn't make sense to try to accommodate that, I don't know if it's necessary to spend the money, because part of it is whether or not we will continue this to begin with.
Correct. There is an appropriation clause in there that it's saying that if as we go through the budget.
If we don't appropriate the funds, then
Correct.
it doesn't help. But
Right.
anyway, that's my view. But
So you're recommending the 6-month trial.
the 5-month,
Or just the
5 months.
digital budget book,
Yeah.
yes.
Is it
I'm all
5
Your
for,
budget.
I'm
It's
all
in your
for
budget.
tools that'll make the job, anybody's job easier and more efficient. But I'm confused when you just said that nobody else would use it. You just made that statement, nobody else would use it. That kind of scares me. I thought that was the whole point
It
of
is.
this.
It's going to be for everyone to utilize that has any involvement in that budget process. But to throw a brand new software at,
Well, it's to be evaluated. We're not mandating it on departments. We're just saying, look at it, kick the wheels, kick the tires, try it out. You know what I mean? It's not like, this is it. We took a hard switch over now, and this is what you got to use. I mean, that, to me, that's the whole thing you're asking for, is to evaluate something. So that, to me, is.
well, I have evaluated it from a demonstration perspective, and
That's different than getting your actual hands on it and using it, as opposed to watching a commercial on TV
yeah,
or
we
on video.
went through it pretty thoroughly. I mean, I can absolutely follow exactly what the program's going to do, the importing of the chart of accounts, everything like that. But the purpose of the tool is for everyone else to utilize and be able to utilize that through the entire year. So
But just the
Again-
section you're looking at, others could use, you're saying?
yes, the operational tool.
No,
portion of it.
just a section you're asking to look at, others could use? You're asking only for a portion of this.
Yeah, the digital budget book, everybody can use. It's the demo that we gave you on Thursday.
Anyone, any department or anybody could go into that program, pull up their line item in the budget and pull that information down.
That
And
is
it's
correct.
ease of access for the public. It'll be available for the public to be able to utilize as well.
Yes, exactly. And it is,
How long-
it does get
I mean,
updated.
Yeah, how
It'll
long,
be
let me ask you
available.
this, how long will it take to download the information to the point where we would have that to be able to look at?
Well, the timeline, we run on the same timeline with ClearGov as we will within our budget timeline. So by November 15th, when I have to have the proposed budget to you, you will have the digital budget book link to click on, and that's where we'll be able to filter through. You'll be able to make any adjustments to whatever you want to make.
Even on this evaluation, now you're putting a lot on yourself. I mean, it sounds like you already had your hands full doing the budget in itself, but now you want to evaluate this. So I don't want to hold you to something that's, it's an unsurmountable task. with
No,
what
the
your
digital budget
resources
book
you have.
is actually, that will not alter our process through the year, is in the data collection. It's what they do is they literally take the Excel workbook that we work off of and they make it into the digital. And then every month when I send the financial statements to you, also next year, when I send the financial statements, I will also send those to ClearGov, or we'll automatically import them. So you'll see our budget in real time and how that's keeping up with budget numbers. So that tool, that aspect of it is going to be extremely helpful in that tracking process throughout the year. So I would really like to send you, or maybe we can all sit down and go in with ClearGov. I mean, it's a pretty big expense, but if everyone can utilize it, if you can just take a few minutes and see what that next tool that they're offering would look like and how that would benefit the county in that process, I would appreciate it, if we're gonna.
The next tool.
Mhm.
You're the one, but you're not recommending the next tool for evaluation, you
Not-
said.
Yes, I am, just not this current year right now, to start right now. It will be, my request would be to start in January. So that would give us plenty of time to get everyone trained on it, all department heads and elected officials that, are involved in that budget process.
So am I to assume that you've already decided on the first part then? If you're saying we're going to evaluate it next year, that we can't evaluate that second part next year unless we already have the first part. So you've already sold yourself on the first part.
Well, that's
So
why
do
Kate
we
brought it
really
to
need
you on
evaluate
Thursday.
it? Just buy it? If you already think that's what it's gonna, if it's a tool that's gonna serve its purpose and you've already been convinced, then why would you want to evaluate it? Just go ahead and buy it. If you're already convinced it's gonna, you're the main user of it, right? Your
For the
office.
digital budget book
Yeah.
portion,
So
just
if you're
for the
already
creation of it.
convinced on it, then you should just buy it.
Well, it's a subscription. So again, usually they start, it's an annual, right? So ClearGov is offering us the prorated from August to December, just for the digital budget book portion of it. And that is what I had originally come to you and requested that we utilize that. Now, if at the end of the year, when you get the end product and you all say, I don't really see the benefit of this, that's why there's an appropriation clause. I don't really believe that you're not going to be happy with it, but I'm grateful that they did put that in there and they didn't lock us in for an entire year.
One of the things I think that the conversation we had a little bit on the side was about, obviously the benefits, the return on investment, whether or not this will create some time savings, less FTE or something potentially by going to something like this. Hopefully we make the case that that's going to be for going forward.
Correct. And, this isn't something that I just brought to you. There's been a few months now that I've talked with other counties that utilize it and have utilized it for a few years. So
Listen, the presentation we've seen and what's capable, I was enthused about that because again, I think the ease of finding and for me as a commissioner or any other one else to go in and to be able to click very easily and find a line item in the budget and see that, I think is very valuable for me for information. Again, you can't quantify me being that as a savings, but if we can create savings by doing it and taking a tool and making it utilized for other people as well and the public, I'm for it. And so,
yeah, it's a very good transparency tool, certainly, and pretty user friendly.
And a time
Question
saver.
for you, Angela.
And a
Time
time
saving
saver.
tool.
Yes,
So
it is.
I'm all for anything that's going to make, like I said, your job more efficient and your time savings and such. But I guess it doesn't sound like you're completely sold, and they didn't even want to give you a prorated price. It didn't sound like on this other portion.
They did, and I sent it an email to you all. They did prorate it.
Okay, I apologize because I haven't seen the
That's
email
okay.
yet. I asked this though, if it sounds like this second portion is going to be of value to other departments, that maybe you put something together to sit down with the other departments, kind of like you did with us,
Mhm.
to let them look at it and see, evaluate it, how much it could use, be used by them, or whether they put a positive or negative need
Sure.
on it.
and I think we would look forward to, if we're going to have some additional opportunity for us to sit down and look at the operational piece of it as well, I'd be inclined to do that as well in the
Okay.
future.
Great. I will get
Angela,
that
I've
set
got a
up.
question for you.
Sure.
This is a 5-month trial, correct?
Mhm.
And will this make your office more efficient?
It will, certainly, because it's going to allow others to be able to find the information that they need themselves. As far as from a time standpoint, this is the year that it will be. So all of the manual data entry, really, that does not go away from our side of things. What the digital budget tool creates is that transparency. It eliminates the physical books that we have to pass out. Those are printing costs. The time it takes to make those, you're doing a lot of converting from program to program. I mean, that's an entire, if I have to put a time frame on it, at least a month or two it takes to do that in the formatting, just to get that book that it's very difficult to even navigate through.
And you have this amount in your budget?
Yes, I do. In contractual services.
Further discussion?
Well, it sounds like this other portion, you don't have enough in your budget for it anyway.
I do not.
Okay, I would have just started with that. I would have just said, this is a nice tool, but unfortunately, I don't have enough in my budget to evaluate this section of it.
I thought I mentioned that in the beginning, but that's
No.
fine. Okay.
Other than that, I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Thanks,
you.
Angela.
I'll entertain a motion, or I'll make one.
I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We've approved the subscription for the ClearGov digital book trial period for 5 months. Any elected official departmental reports? Looks like we got a couple.
Listen, Jim, oh, there he's back there. Hello,
Good morning.
Chuck.
Good morning.
I wanted to bring you up to speed on a couple of issues that occurred yesterday. We had a failure with our spam service, which is not something we run. It's actually a service that we purchase. And it prevented emails from being delivered because it couldn't scan attachments. That since has been corrected late yesterday afternoon, and all those attachments have been delivered. We also then had a name server failure yesterday mid-afternoon. We had that corrected, and last night we built a spare so that way we can fail over in the event that we lose that again, so we don't have that problem after this.
Is it just a
And
typical day in the life of IT?
I'm never bored.
I think it's a typical day in the life of, we have outdated
Outdated equipment?
equipment
Yeah.
that's getting the end of its user life.
And speaking of outdated equipment, so I have a Regis server engineer down here today because the storage array that we've been having problems with is so old that I don't have anything old enough to connect to it to get the details I need to buy spare hardware. So I had a Regis engineer come down here today with the right connectivity stuff that can talk to that old device so that we can buy the right hardware to fix it. So that's 3 things I wanted to make you guys aware of.
Any further questions? Thank you for your update.
Thanks, Chuck.
Tim?
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just wanted to let you all know tomorrow we'll be hosting our regional meeting for about 9 counties surrounding. So we're going to showcase all Franklin County. Our own Deputy Williams is going to give a nice presentation for us on election security stuff that he's helped us with, and have an FBI agent coming in to talk to our fellow election authorities as well. And so just wanted to make you aware we're going to be utilizing this room for that. We've already reserved it. So if you see a whole bunch of people here that you don't know, they're county clerks and other election authorities.
Can you point out the FBI agent?
He's not in here.
No,
But
no.
I can if you
if-
want. I mean, if you want me to, I
No.
can. I mean,
It's
be happy to.
merely
Just
joke.
wanted to give you an
Your
update on
joke.
information.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
Any other departmental reports?
Jim? Do we have anything back from 100, the slide?
Good morning.
Morning, Jim.
Regarding Old Highway 100, I had discussion this morning with Cochrane. They are taking care of the geo technical side of this. They anticipate and they assure me that they will have all the final test results no later than the 10th of this month. So day after tomorrow, they will have all of the results. Part of the delay was the cores had to be tested in their condition. They had to be dried to whatever percentage was proper, and then they had to be retested. And because of the magnitude of our slide that we have going on, they repeated that entire operation just to make sure that their results are going to be proper and a solution is given that will correct the problem permanently. With that being said, their summary and recommendations in print will be to us by July 18th. That's a Friday. That following Monday and Tuesday, they will be available to have a face-to-face meeting. And I would like to present that to you all on that Tuesday. You'll all be here after the 10 o'clock commission meeting. If you all could set aside just a few minutes, we could sit down and just go over that review of that on the 18th, on the 22nd. And we can determine, or you all can hear their recommendations, and we can determine the appropriate action to go out to bid and to get
Are we
the problem
continuing to
resolved.
see degradation of that site? Is it still
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
still
it-
going, still
It is-
sliding,
It's still.
still sliding?
Still going
I was
somewhere.
there,
It's
I
still
was there
sliding.
this morning and it is settling and sliding.
Yeah.
Continuing, and it is growing. So
Wow.
it's a situation that if it was the original condition it was 2 months ago, and we would have done a correction, I think it would have been premature. And so does the engineer. They want to make sure that we get everything all at one time.
Yeah, we
and get
don't
it
want
done
to, we
get
don't
it
want
done
to,
correctly.
we don't want to be doing this twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's changed. I mean, it's very dynamic. It's changing daily. So whatever it's doing, it's not finished yet doing it.
Yeah.
So
That's the update that I have on that right now.
Thanks. for that.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
thanks, Jim.
Anyone else care to come forward? No hands raised. Any service recognition? We have any years recognition today? None. Well,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. And so we have adjourned this meeting. Motion carries.